YouTube, my people, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be doing the top 10 cornerbacks in Madden 25 Ultimate Team. Of course, like I always say, this is going to be my list. You guys are entitled to your own opinion, so let me know down in the comment section how you would change my list. Who did I miss, etc, etc? Do you agree with my list, etc, etc? And of course, like I always say, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into the top 10 cornerbacks in Madden 25 Ultimate Team right now. So starting off our list at number 10, we've got Mr. Daron Bland. I think this is a very good cornerback, and especially for you budget guys right now, if you have a stocking stuffer to use, this is the second best cornerback stocking stuffer in the game, in my opinion. There is going to be one higher than this, but just getting into the stats of this card: 94 speed, 93 excel, 96 change of direction. And I mean, this card coverage wise is absolutely amazing. The one thing that I would say is like the weakness of this card, which is going to be the weakness of a lot of defensive backs, is the fact that his tackling is really not that good. But there are some cornerbacks on here that hit pretty hard, which is why this card is going to be a lot lower than a lot of these cards. And the fact that he is only 6 foot. As far as abilities, you guys are going to want to either put pick artist or mid zone on it. Personally, right now, I've been rocking a lot of mid zones on my players. Mid zone triggers a lot all over the field. So if this card is going to play for you, you got to pick one of these for the sub-zero bucket. He only gets one sub-zero bucket. So I would say make a choice between mid zone and pick artist, and then put pick, or what I would say, this is what I would do. Put mid zone as your sub-zero ability, and then put pick artist on, because I think pick artist is 2 versus mid zone being normally like 3 or 4 AP. So just a smarter use of your AP would just be, hey, put on mid zone, then put on pick artist type of thing. But I definitely would say between these two in the sub-zero bucket, do that. If you have any extra AP, put on that pick artist, and this card is going to play absolutely amazing for you guys for simply only 25K. Coming in at number 9, this is the better, or the best cornerback stocking stuffer in my opinion, Zyon Mccollum. Again, I might be a little bit biased because I'd be running the Tampa Bay Buccaneers theme team currently. Their theme team is very good. I'm going to keep vouching for that theme team. But this card gets 96 speed with the zero chill boost. Again, that Daron Bland also gets that. This card has better excel, better change of direction, better jumping, and again, a little bit better coverage stats. His catching is a little bit sus, but he does have slightly, I think, pretty comparable tackling. His pursuit is better. I mean, pursuit doesn't really matter, but the main difference is this card is 6'2". Daron Bland's only 6 foot. That's why I got this card above it. And again, definitely pick between pick artist and mid zone on one of your abilities. If you run a lot of zone, if you run man, hey, I run zone. I rarely run man, so I don't put man abilities on. I don't really value man coverage that much. But if you guys do run mix in man, I do think it's going to be on that. But yeah, this card only gets one of those abilities, so I don't think he can be any higher than number 9. And then at number 8, we've got Jalen Ramsey. This card's very similar to that Zyon Mccollum, but he does have worse excel. He has worse change of direction. Coverage is pretty comparable, I would say. His catching is definitely a little lackluster, but it's good enough. But he's got better hit power. His tackling is still going, but he's got better hit power. So that's kind of why I have this card above it. 6'1", again, only 1 inch shorter than Zyon Mccollum. And again, the same thing with the abilities, like I told you guys. Either run mid zone or pick artist. But this card is just going to play a little bit more physical when it comes to tackling and things like that. So that's why I value this card a little bit higher than that Zyon Mccollum at number 8, Jalen Ramsey. Coming in here at number 7, we've got Haloti Ngata. I think that's how you say his name, Haloti. I'm just gonna call him Haloti. 95 speed, 99 excel. That's absolutely crazy for a 6'4" corner, 340 pounds. And look at his tackling ratings. Again, I know that's not gonna really matter that much for cornerbacks, but trust me, it does, in my opinion, matter a lot. He just can't be any higher. His press rating is just really low. You could really put this card at safety if you want to. You could also put him, I would say, on the inside as like a slot corner. But if you put him on the outside, just be careful to his press ability isn't that good. So he's probably going to get blown by a lot of the time. So you definitely are going to have to, worry about that. And again, abilities are going to be the same thing that I say about mid zone and pick artist, and he only gets 1 ability. But this card is a little bit taller. He's a little bit more physical. It's just that press rating is why I can't put him any higher than what he is on this list currently. Coming in at number 6, right outside the top 5, we've got DK Metcalf. Now, this might surprise a lot of people, but I do think that this card is actually like really, really good, bro. This card plays on my best team. He is really good, even without the present boost. I know the present boosts aren't in the game anymore, but 95 speed, 91 excel isn't, you know, is definitely less than desired. But 6'4", 95 change of direction. This card is so sticky. I never see him out of position. He's made so many great plays for me, and he's just absolutely amazing. The one thing that I would say, he has very weak man coverage, so if you run a lot of man, you can't run this card. But again, I don't really run a lot of man, so this card plays absolutely amazing for me. 96 press as well, so you can press people into the ground. Even though his man coverage isn't that good, you can still press people into the ground. I do love that about this card. And I mean, look at his tackling. 90 tackling, 94 hit power out of a corner is crazy. It's just the fact that this card only gets one ability boost, or ability bucket, which is why I can't put him any higher. Again, that's going to be the commonality in all this. But this card, I think, is a super undervalued, underrated card that I think should be on everybody's team, in my opinion, especially for that price. Starting off at the number 5 cornerback in the game, we've got Ted Hendricks. So I know you guys are looking. He's 6'7". He's got 96 speed with the zero chill boost, 96 excel, 96 change of direction. His coverage is really good. He's got really good tackling and everything like that. But why is this card only top 5? Why is he not higher than this? Well, for one, I do think taller corners do move a little bit more goofy. He doesn't really turn as well. The thing is, he does not get mid-zone. So that is like the most important thing in all this. He gets the mid-zone KO X factor, but he does not get it as an ability. Still gets that pick artist, but that's why I'm gonna hold. That's what I'm gonna hold against this card, is that fact that he does not get that. He has really, really good stats outside of that. I mean, pressing ability is amazing, but the fact that he doesn't get mid-zone, I can't put him any higher than top 5 right now. Coming in at number 4, we've got big Julius Peppers. This is basically a better version of Ted Hendricks, in my opinion. He just doesn't get that his pressing ability. So I would say you could either put this card at safety or more as like a slot corner, but he's just going to be a better version of Mr. Haloti that we were talking about earlier. 94 speed, again, his excel really isn't that high. Change of direction isn't that high, but the fact that this card does get that mid-zone ability and pick artist, you could put both of those on at the exact same time. You can also put deep out zone if you want. I value more mid-zone right now, and pick artist, you could put both of those on. The only issue again with that Ted Hendricks is that he couldn't get that. He's gonna have other ability that you could put on, but you could do all of this 4-0 and have this card play absolutely out of his mind at 6'7". This card's really good. It's just that press rating is not good. Tackling is really good as well, but the press rating is why I can't put him any higher than this. Coming in at number 3, we've got Christian Gonzalez. I think this card is essentially flawless outside of the fact that, you know, his tackling is kind of poor. This card's really good. He plays well above his stats, in my opinion. He's always in the right position whenever I've played against him. I've never used the card personally, but I always see him in the right position. He always, you know, shades the man really good. 96 speed, 93 excel, 6'2", and again, this card gets those 2 abilities where he can get that mid-zone pick artist combination, but you also can put him anywhere on the field because of his press ability and all of those things. Really good catching as well. He's not going to drop picks. I mean, you do drop picks a lot in this game, but he's going to drop it a lot less than a lot of other corners in the game. That's why he's going to be top 3 on my list. Now, at number 2, I know people gonna be looking at me crazy. I think Randy Moss is the number 2 cornerback in the game. There is a cornerback that I think is a little bit better than this card. Now, this card is 6'4". Again, you know, you can't really replace height. But the card that's number 1, I think he just plays just that much better to put him at that number 1 spot. But focusing on Randy Moss, of course, 97 speed, 95 excel, 97 change of direction. Again, all of his coverage stats are really, really good. But again, the tackling is just not as good as we want it. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, you know, it's okay. For a cornerback, again, this is okay. But when you've got cornerbacks that are just hitting hard, that can do more things, that's going to give you a hint into who I'm talking about. And also, this card only gets 1 ability. I would recommend putting mid-zone on him and then putting that pick artist on, like I've always said. But again, this card is just that really good. He's just really good, bro. I mean, again, he's just really good. There's not really much else to say. Again, he does have a lot of team chems, and I know I mentioned that in the wide receiver video, but I just think the number 1 corner is just that much better. Theme team or not, Coming in at number 1, we've got Cooper DeJean at number 1 cornerback in the game. I get it, he's only 6'1", but look at his stats, man. I mean, across the board, no flaws in this card whatsoever. 97 speed, 95 excel, 96 change of direction. Well, he's gonna have over 95 man, 95 zone, 99 press with the zero chill boost. And look at his tackling ability, his hit power, 92 hit power on a corner. Are you insane? 83 tackling. Hey, this card plays so physical, and that's why I have him at the number 1 spot. And again, he does get that double ability that we've always mentioned with these Ghost of Mutt cards. Mid-zone pick artist for 0 AP. No flaws in this card. This card can literally do it all, in my opinion. You could put him at safety. You could put him as your slot. You could put him outside. You can put him anywhere that a defensive back can be, and he's going to shine. Again, he is a little bit on the shorter side, so I was going back and forth on if Randy or this card was better, but I just can't put, I have to put this card number 1 in my opinion. I do think Coop is the number 1 corner in the game. Now that is going to wrap up the video today, guys. I appreciate you guys showing all the love on the channel. Let me know how you would change this list, who I missed, etc., etc. And of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, you watched it all the way this far, hit that like button, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video, man. Peace.